fresh out the oven.
What is cracking, everybody? It's Mega Pieman here, and welcome to look at my map for King of the Hill Synthetic Beta 3. I know it feels like all I've done on my channel as of recently are maps for King of the Hill Synthetic, and the main reason for that is because, at least at this point, the map was chosen and the top 3 of the Meet Your Map contest, and that is a real big deal, because the top 3 maps are going to be played in a competitive tournament and then voted on, and then the winner will be chosen out of that, who will win some prize money. And I could really use the prize money. It would be fantastic for paying for things. So, I've been putting a lot of work into this for mostly all my spare time, and have not had much in the way of spare time for working on other videos. They are working on, but I haven't been able to get much in the way done or released. So I am sorry about that, but hopefully the contest is coming to a close pretty soon. The competition is going to be on the 28th or 29th. It was going to be the weekend before that, but got pushed back a little bit, which gives me an extra week to do more work on this map. And the other 2 maps that are in the competition are some steep competition. There's CP Cardinal, which is a 5 CP map made by Fi, who's the person that made both versions of CP Sunshine that are actually in the full game. Fi has also made a lot of other maps for competitive, or at least has other competitive mapping experience, so that is going to be tough to beat. The other map that is in the top 3 is CP Propaganda by Quantum, I believe is the developer of that one. Well, Quantum doesn't have the pedigree that Fi has at this point. Propaganda is still a pretty good map, and Quantum has still got quite a few maps under their belt. But Synthetic is not only the only map in the top 3 that is not 5 CP, being that it's King of the Hill, it is also the only map that does not use the theme of Frontline. Frontline is a community theme that is based off of world wars, like World War I and World War II. It's a cool-looking theme, but both Cardinal and Propaganda use that theme, whereas Synthetic does not. Synthetic is a industrial/farm theme. So, and Synthetic has asymmetrical detailing. So I got 3 things to stand out against the other 2 in the top 3. I got that it's a King of the Hill map, that it does not use the Frontline theming, and that it has asymmetrical detailing. And as you can see right now, I have basically committed dev texture genocide on this map, trying to get everything as detailed as possible in order to get ready for the competition, or for the end of the competition, because people have really been enjoying Synthetic, and I'm glad of that. I have not made a map up until this point that has done as well as King of the Hill Synthetic, and it's a really, really cool feeling to know that not only have I been working on a map for competitive players or for more players, that both competitive and casual players have been enjoying the map quite a bit. I've never had that experience before. It's really cool to see people being like, this is a good map. So, I mean, before I've had people playing maps I've been working on and saying there are good and bad things about the maps, with other maps I've worked on, such as CP Boondoggle, which I don't think I made any videos for as of yet, but that map still needs some work. I may make some videos of it if I get another version of it made at some point, but it's the only other map that I have that I've really done much in the way of detailing with. So let's go around and take a look at what's new in Beta 3. One of the big things that I did is I put up these arrows here specifically to block a sight line. They're not here to necessarily tell players where to go. The main reason why they're there is to stop a sight line from here being able to see all the way over here. So hopefully that works out the way I want it to. If I go back here, I can see that there is a prop fade problem, and I can see a no draw that Right there, as you see, those props just kind of pop in like that. That needs to be fixed. Prop fading is a thing for optimization. Basically, you set a limit to where a prop appears and does not appear, and you don't want it to be obvious like that, so that needs fixed. But I wanted to put a wall here to block that sideline, but I didn't want it to just be like a wall that meant nothing. Even though these arrows aren't really all of that needed for telling players where the point is or where to go, I like it a lot more. There's another pop-in issue with those pipes over there. Oh, I hate prop fades. Work with prop fades is difficult because it takes a lot of testing to find out if there's any visible pop-in like that. So that needs fixed in beta 4. Oh my. Yeah. But I didn't just want a wall there, because that looked kind of lame. I wanted there to be like a real reason why something is there. So there's an arrow. I don't think it really necessarily will help people all that much, but maybe it will. It's something. But we'll take a look around here at all the detailing. Got detailing up here in this room. Got detailing over here. Got detailing in the second transitional building. Of course, the first transitional building was already detailed somewhat in the previous version of the map, but there's a lot more going on in here. I had to be very, very careful with my detailing because it is asymmetrical detailing, which means that the detailing is different for the red and blue side of the map, and I have to make sure that I am able to keep it consistent with the layout. None of the detailing that I'm doing can affect the layout, because I do not want that door's backwards, dang it. I do not want one part of the map to be different than the other part of the map, because then it's not symmetrical, and if it's not symmetrical, then it's probably not going to work well for competitive. You don't really see asymmetrical King of the Hill. King of the Hill is very much a symmetrical game mode, even if you use mirrored symmetry, or if you use rotational symmetry. So this map uses rotational symmetry. So you have this upper area over here, which is on the left, but you have this upper area that's on the right. This means that a player coming up from here, they have the wall on their right for the upper area, and they have the upper area for the other team right in front of them. And on this side, it's exactly the same. If this was just mirrored, then the ramps would be, the up ramp would be here, and the up ramp would be there. So whoever's on the red team would have both upper areas on the left, and who was ever on the blue team would have both upper areas on the right. People don't really like that, especially when it comes to competitive, mainly because it does not completely symmetrical. It plays a little bit differently for both teams, and with the way view models are, at least for something like the big rocket launcher, it can make rocket jumping a bit difficult, since the rockets come out of a different side of the player, they come out of the right side of the player model, but if you're on one side with mirrored geometry, there'll be stuff in the way. It's just more of a pain in the butt. So rotational symmetry is really the best when it comes to symmetrical maps, and that's what I went with here. But is there anything else that really changed layout-wise? I put these two things here, but most of what I did was detailing oriented. Oh, if you listen, I don't know if you heard that, but if you listen really hard, you'll notice the map now has sounds. So I put soundscapes in. Soundscape, this is actually like the first map that I've made that I've put a soundscape in, because I've never gotten a map this far. So that's pretty crazy. Working with soundscapes. Nice. I'm getting closer to becoming a real mapper. These pipes are really annoying to deal with, because their level of detail, or LOD, changes really quickly. They're from Mercenary Park. There was a bird. There was a bird sound right there. I don't know if you heard that, but there was a bird sound right there. But, yeah. So, I gotta see if I can try and get maybe another version of these pipes made with larger distance before the level of detail changes. But something else that I want to get worked on is I want to try to get a model made for these cooling silo tank things. Mainly because right now what I have is made out of brushes, and it looks ugly. You can tell it's made out of brushes because it is not circular, like at all. Unlike these things over here, which are very circular. So I want to try to get a model made for that. Don't know if I can find somebody to do it, but we'll see about that. Also, this yellow brush block right there, I clicked my mouse button, which took me to the camera. Hang on a second. There we go. Spectator cam. Yeah, I wanted to try and get maybe something to replace that big yellow brush with that I can also maybe use over here and use over there. Try to change some of the stuff that's brush-based detailing to model-based detailing. A lot of more modern stuff uses model-based detailing instead of brush-based detailing. You see it a lot in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, mainly because it looks a lot better with a model. But using models means that you have to do a lot more with optimization. Now, Source is a rather old engine, and most modern PCs can run it fairly well. Pretty much anything on the Source engine can be ran really, really well due to modern technology. But that's not always the case. There are people out there who have older computers, and especially when you're dealing with competitive players, they like a high level of FPS. So, like some ridiculous level FPS, like 120 FPS opposed to just 60 FPS, where most games run to. So optimization is going to be very important to try to make sure things don't render when they can't be seen, like this pile of wood. I do not want to be rendering on your computer if you are all the flippin' way over here in Blue Spawn. If that pile of wood is rendering and you're in Blue Spawn, then something is wrong, because there's no way in the world you would ever see it from here. Something else I also have to work on is adding a skybox. Because the competition was pushed back a week, I have another week of development time that I could put into this map, and I definitely need to get a skybox made. I would like to have a skybox made before the tournament. Whether or not I'll be able to get one done before then is a different question, due to being busy working on other things, as well as the fact that skyboxes take a while and are rather tedious to work on. I do have some experience working on skyboxes, but don't have a ton, and I kind of got to figure out what I want to do with it, because I don't want to make it like Alpine. This map is supposed to be industrial farm themed, so I would want sort of like a rolling hills for a skybox instead of a desert theme or alpine theme. So I got to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with that so it actually looks good and not like crap. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to figure that out at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much it for King of the Hill Synthetic Beta 3. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like the map. Let me know what you think about it at all. Detailing-wise, layout-wise, of course, there'll be a link to the thread on TF2 Maps in the description of this video. You can let me know what you think or anything like that by leaving a comment either on this video or in the thread for it. Thank you for watching. I'm MegaPieMan, and I will talk to you guys later. This map is looking nice.